students, welcome back. It's me Dipendran Shrestha, and today I am here with the remaining part of fourth lesson of class 9. Today we are going to discuss about the inertia, types of inertia. Inertia of rest, inertia of motion and inertia of direction. Similarly, relation between mass and inertia. After that we are going to discuss about the laws of motion, Newton's laws of motion. Newton's first law of motion, Newton's second law of motion, Newton's third law of motion, and at last we discuss about the momentum. Okay, these are the remaining part of the fourth lesson. In previous video, you have read about the Subhat numerical problem, acceleration, velocity, average velocity, speed, rest, motion, force, etc. Okay, let's start the terms. Inertia. Do you know meaning of inertia? Actually, inertia means property of a body like to have in the same state. Property of a body like to have in the same state. That means rest object wants to remain at the rest. Moving object continuously moves uniformly on a straight path. Does not want to change the state. It means rest object does not want to change in motion, and moving object does not change into the rest unless and until the external force is used over it. So, very important terms of this lesson. Inertia means inability of a body to change its state by itself. Inability of a body to change its state by itself. It means a rest body does not want to convert into the motion, or moving object does not want to convert or change into the rest unless and until the external force is used over it. A rest body remains at rest, moving object continuously move on a straight path uniformly. This property of a body is called inertia. So remember, inertia means inability of a body to change its state by itself. Once again, remember the definition of inertia: inability of a body to change its state by itself until the external force, or unless the external force is used over it. When we roll the ball on the ground, it continuously moves if external force is not acted or is not applied over it. But you know, after rolling the ball, after certain time or after some time, it will stop. Why? Because while rolling the ball, frictional force develops with the ground, with the surface, and because of the frictional force, it stops. Frictional force is external force. So, if external force is not acted over the moving object, then it moves continuously, uniformly on a straight path, and rest object remains at rest forever. This property of a body is called inertia. Okay? Inability of a body to change its state by itself. This is called inertia. Inertia, there are three types of inertia. We say inertia of rest, inertia of motion, and inertia of direction. Okay? Inertia of rest, inertia of motion, and inertia of direction. Inertia of rest. A rest object has inertia of rest. Moving object has inertia of motion. Okay? Inertia of rest means inability of a rest body. Inability of a rest body to change into motion by itself. That means without using any external force over it. Inertia of rest body. Inertia of rest body means inability of rest body. Inability of rest body to convert into, to change into motion state by itself. By itself means without using any external force. This is called inertia of rest. Every rest object has inertia of rest. Okay? Every rest object has inertia of rest. Once again, definition of inertia of rest: inability of a rest body to convert into, to change into motion state by itself without using any external force. That is called inertia of rest. Inertia of motion poses in a moving object. So, inertia of motion means inability of a moving object. Inability of a moving object. Inability of a moving object to change into rest by itself. Moving object cannot convert into rest without using external force. Every moving object possesses inertia of motion. So, inability of moving object to convert into rest without using external force, that is called inertia of motion. Inertia of motion. Similarly, inertia of direction. Inertia of direction means when an object moving in a particular direction cannot convert, cannot change into the another direction without using external force. That means inability of a moving body, inability of a moving body to change the direction by itself. Inability of a moving body to change the direction by itself, that is called inertia of direction. So remember, inertia, inability of a body to change its state by itself. Inertia of rest, inability of a rest body to change it into motion state by itself. Inertia of motion, inability of a moving body to change into rest state by itself. Inertia of direction, inability of a moving body to change into the direction by itself. These are the types of inertia. Relation between mass and inertia. Relation between mass and inertia. So we say every moving object has inertia of motion, every rest object has inertia of rest. That is also depend on the mass. If the mass is less, then inertia also less. If the mass is more, then inertia also more. You know, when we lift the smaller, let's say marker has less mass, we can lift easily. That means rest marker can be converted into motion by using the small force also. Why? Because it has less mass, less inertia. Less mass, less inertia. So using the less effort also, it can be converted into motion state. But if we want to lift the big desk or table, it is difficult. Why? Because that has the more mass. More mass is more inertia of rest there is. And to convert this more inertia of rest into motion state, we need more effort. More effort. That's why it is a little bit difficult or very difficult to convert into motion state. So, mass and inertia relation directly proportional. Okay, I directly proportional to M. When the mass is more, then inertia also more. When the mass is less, inertia also less. Okay, less mass, less inertia, more mass, more inertia. Okay, like that you can say. A bicycle, a moving bicycle coming towards you. If you hold the handle of bicycle, you can stop easily. Okay, you can stop easily. Less mass of bicycle can be converted into rest state. Moving bicycle can be converted into rest state. But if the motorbike with the certain speed coming towards you, if you hold the handle, then what happens? Can you stop the bike immediately? No, it's difficult because this moving motorbike has more inertia motion because that has more mass than that of the bicycle. So this more inertia motion can be converted into the rest immediately. So more mass, more inertia, less mass, less inertia. You have to remember this, directly proportional to each other. Okay, directly proportional to each other. Some example of inertia, like inertia. You know, when we build the carpet, with a stick, and here is straight, there is one pillow. Look at here. when we build the pillow or when we build the carpet, dust flies out, dust falls down. Yeah, like this. It was in rest. Both dust particle and this carpet was in rest. But when I apply the effort here, this carpet comes in motion, but dust particle remains at rest due to inertia of rest. Okay, when I apply the effort on the carpet, this carpet comes in motion, but dust particles of carpet still want to remain in rest due to inertia of rest, because of which this carpet and dust particles separate from each other, and then dust particle falls down. Similarly, when you shake this branch of mango tree, mango falls down. Yeah, when you shake the branch of mango tree, mango falls down. Why? At first, both mango and branch of the mango tree were in rest. When we shake the branch comes in motion, because our applied effort transport to the branch. So branch comes in motion, but mango still remains in rest and does not want to change into the motion state due to inertia of rest. That's why mango and branch separate from each other, detach from each other, and then fall down. After washing clothes, we flap like this way. Wet clothes, we flap. While flapping, droplet of water is scattered. Why? First of all, both droplet of water and clothes were in rest. When we flapped that, this clothes comes in motion, but droplet of water still remains in the rest due to inertia of rest. Because of which droplet of water and clothes separate from each other, and hence these particles of water fall down or separate from the clothes. These are the inertia of rest. Similarly, inertia of motion. Moving fan keeps on moving even after the switch off. Moving fan keeps on moving for some time even after the switch is off. Why? Why? Because moving fan possesses inertia of motion. Moving fan possesses inertia of motion. When we switch off the fan, then current stops to flow. But moving fan keeps on moving due to inertia of motion. This moving fan doesn't want to come in rest immediately. But because of the frictional force, after some time it comes in rest state. That's why due to inertia of motion, moving fan keeps on moving even after the switch is off. In moving vehicle, when the driver suddenly jams the brake, when the driver suddenly jams the brake, then passenger, what happens? Body of passenger leans forward like this. Why? In moving vehicle, when the driver jams the brake, body of passenger leans forward direction. Why? Because at first both passenger and vehicle were in motion. When the driver applied the brake, suddenly this vehicle comes to the rest, and the leg or body parts which is contact with the vehicle also comes in rest. But upper parts of the body like to be in motion due to inertia motion. Okay, so when the driver suddenly jams the brake, vehicle comes in rest, and body parts which is contact with the vehicle, that also comes in rest. But upper body parts of passenger like to be in motion continuously, like to be in motion due to inertia of motion. That's why leans forward. Yeah. Similarly, when a rest vehicle suddenly starts to move, passenger body leans backward direction. Why? At first, in the rest vehicle, both vehicle and passenger were in rest state. Yeah, rest state. When the vehicle starts to move, the leg or body parts contact with the vehicle also moves with the vehicle. But upper body parts like to be in rest due to inertia of rest. Yeah, leg moves with the vehicle, but upper body parts doesn't want to come in the motion state. It leaves behind, because of which body leans backward. So these are the example of inertia. Similarly, while taking turn in the right side in vehicle, while taking turn to the right side, body part left side. When taking turn to the left side, body parts of passenger leans right side. Why? Why? At first, parts of vehicle and passenger body parts are in particular direction. Yeah. When the vehicle takes turn to the right side, then lower body parts of the passenger, which is contact with the vehicle, moves with the vehicle. But upper body parts does not want to change the direction due to inertia of direction. Okay, lower parts already turns to the right side, but upper part does not want to change the direction due to inertia of direction. That's why lower body parts move towards the right and upper body parts left in the left side. That's why body parts leans towards the left and vice versa while taking to the left turn. So these are the example of inertia of direction. Okay, after this, we are going to discuss about the Newton's laws of motion. Sir Isaac Newton has given 3 laws related to the motion. We say Newton's first law of motion, second law of motion, and third law of motion. First law of motion is also called the law of inertia. Okay, first law of motion is also called law of inertia also. According to Newton's first law of motion, it states that everybody in this universe continuously follow the state of rest or uniform motion on a straight path unless imbalance force, unless external force is used over it. This is called Newton's first law of motion. Newton's first law of motion states that everybody in this universe continue in the state of rest or uniform motion on a straight path unless an imbalanced force is acted over it, unless an external force is used over it. This is called Newton's first law of motion. Newton's first law of motion is also called law of inertia. Why? According to Newton's first law of motion, everybody continue in the state of rest or uniform motion unless imbalanced force is acted over it. Means body does not want to change, or body does not change the state by itself. Body does not change the state by itself, which means inertia. Yeah, just definition of inertia we have discussed: inability of a body to change its state by itself. And according to Newton's first law of motion, everybody continue in the rest or uniform motion. That means body does not want to change, or body does not change the state by itself. This is the definition of inertia. So that's why it is also called law of inertia. And all the example of inertia are example of Newton's first law of motion also. Similarly, now we are going to discuss about the Newton's second law of motion. Okay, Newton's second law of motion. Newton's second law of motion. Newton's second law of motion. It states that Newton's second law of motion states that acceleration produced on a moving body. Acceleration produced on a moving body is directly proportional to the force applied and inversely proportional to the mass of that body. Okay? Acceleration produced on a moving body is directly proportional to the force applied and inversely proportional to the mass of object. Like, if you, let's say, here is one duster. If we apply, mass is constant, okay, here, mass is constant. If we apply the certain force, it falls down here with a less force. Similarly, if we apply the more force, then it covers the longer distance. More force gets more acceleration. Less force gets less acceleration. Okay? More force causes more acceleration. Less force causes less acceleration. That means applied force and acceleration is directly proportional to each other. Similarly, if we use different mass, and applied force is constant, then what happens? Let's say, while applying the certain force, fixed force, on a less mass, it covers the more distance. If we apply the same force on a big mass, it covers the less distance. Less distance. Yeah. More mass, less acceleration. Less mass, more acceleration on applying the equal force. Okay. So on applying the equal force on a less mass, it covers the more distance, gets more acceleration. But when the same force we use over the big mass, it covers the less distance, means less acceleration. So more mass, less acceleration. Less mass, more acceleration. Acceleration is inversely proportional. That's why according to Newton's second relation is directly proportional to force applied. Equation 1. And acceleration is inversely proportional to the mass. Equation 2. While combining equation 1 and equation 2, we get A proportional Y by Y. Yeah. And during cross multiplication we get Y proportional YA. There is proportional sign. And to change this proportional sign into equal sign, we have to keep one constant term. Here we use K is constant term. That's why F equals to KMA. To change this proportional sign with equal sign, we use this K term where K is proportionality constant. Proportionality constant. Okay. Now by the definition of 1 Newton force, if M equals to 1 kg, A equals to 1 meter per second, then F will be 1 Newton. And if we put the value of M is 1, yeah, A is 1, F is 1, then we get K also 1. Yeah. Instead of M, if we use 1 kg, A 1 meter per second square, F 1 meter, if we put, then remaining value of K also will be 1. So if we put the value of K in this equation, let's say equation 3, yeah, while putting value of K in equation 3, we get F equals to M. Okay, K means 1. So remaining term F equals to M. So this F equals to M is Newton's second law of motion. F equals to M is Newton's second law of motion. So we can say Newton's second law of motion can calculate the force. If we know the mass and acceleration, then we can calculate the force. Actually, Newton's second law of motion means acceleration produced on a moving body is directly proportional to force and inversely proportional to the mass. Okay, directly proportional to force and inversely proportional to mass. And we can calculate the applied force by using the relation F equals to M. This is Newton's second law of motion. Newton's second law of motion example, we can say, you know, empty truck and loaded truck. Which can run fast? Okay, which one can run fast? One empty truck, another loaded truck. Do you know? Yes, of course. Empty truck can run fast. Why? Empty truck has less mass, more acceleration. Yeah, less mass, more acceleration, inversely proportional to each other. But loaded truck has more mass, less acceleration. That's why empty truck can run faster than that of the loaded truck. Motorbike can run faster than truck, etc. Okay, here is also, this is a mango. Here is one ball. It has a less mass. So using the certain force, less mass can be thrown far distance than that of the big mass. This is the smallest stone or small piece of the mango can be thrown faster. But by using the same force, if we throw this, we cannot throw up to the longer distance. So less mass can be thrown up to the far distance, but big mass cannot be done. Okay, that is inversely proportional to each other. Now, Newton's third law of motion. According to Newton's third law of motion, To every action there is equal and opposite reaction. You see, to every action there is equal and opposite reaction. To every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. This is called Newton's third law of motion. In Newton's third law of motion, two forces, a pair of force comes in action. A pair of force comes in action. Okay, and their magnitude also equal, but they never cancel each other. Why? You know, if we apply 10 Newton force from here, another 10 Newton force from here, then resultant force will be 0. Resultant force will be 0 because one person pull from this side with the 10 Newton force, another pull from this side with the 10 Newton force. A resultant force 10 minus 10 will be 0. In Newton's third law of motion also, equal magnitude of force comes in action, but they never cancel each other. Why? Because these pair of forces acts on two different objects. Acts on two different objects. That's why they never cancel each other. They never cancel each other. So remember, Newton's third law of motion, to every action there is equal and opposite reaction. Like while jumping, we press the ground downward with the sudden force. While jumping, we press the ground downward with the sudden force. At the same time, ground also exerts the equal force to our body in upward direction, opposite direction. We are pressing downward, ground pushes upward, because of which we can lift, we can spring up. Yeah. So here equal magnitude of force in the two direction, in the two objects. We press on the ground pushes on our body. Object is different. That's why never cancel each other. Similarly, while swimming, we push the water with our hand backward direction. Why? Because when we push the water backward with the sudden force, water also pushes in forward direction with the equal force. Because of which we are able to move in forward direction. Similarly, you know, when the bullet is fired from the gun recoils. When the bullet is fired from the gun recoils. So while firing, gun exerts the sudden force on the bullet. Gun exerts the sudden force on the bullet to move forward direction. At the same time, bullet also exerts the equal force on the gun in backward direction, because of which gun recoils. Gun exerts the force on the bullet to move forward, and bullet also exerts equal reaction force on the gun in backward direction, because of which gun recoils, moves backward. Yeah, moves backward. You know, while projecting the rocket into the space, large amount of burnt gas comes down. Only after that, rocket projected into the space. Yeah, this large amount of burnt gas comes down with a sudden force. At the same time, rocket also gets the equal reaction force, because of which it is projected. Okay, like here, a balloon. You know, balloon. So when you fill up the air, so here is balloon. If we leave it by keeping its mouth downward, then what happens? Air comes down with a sudden force. Yeah. At the same time, balloon gets equal reaction force, because of which it moves upward. Yeah, like this one. So balloon moves upward because of reaction force. When we jump from the boat to the shore, boat moves backward. Yeah. While jumping, our body presses the boat backward direction with the action force, and boat also pushes our body in forward direction, reaction force. That's why we are able to jump to the shore. When a teacher beats on the body parts of a student, let's say, not only the student get pain, teacher also get pain. How much force is applied on the student's body? Equal force is applied by the student's body to the teacher's hand also. At that time, both gets the pain. To every action, there is equal reaction force also. That is the Newton's third law of motion. Okay, how do you feel? If you have any comment, then don't forget, like it, comment it. Today we have finished the fourth lesson, so don't forget to watch the video. Thank you.